up! You are now listening to News with My Fiance with DJ Ambush and Morgan Jones.
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello? Well, in local news, Tina, Governor Kotek, that is, says y'all better come with an actual plan for the houseless or don't even bother.
Keep it. And in national news, y'all ban the books? Missouri says, hold my beer. We're defunding the libraries.
Who needs them? Get them out of here.
We'll take care of the house that the books live in. We'll get that out of there.
Because if you don't have that, you don't have books.
Hey.
They don't even exist anymore if you don't have a room to put them in.
Hello. And the Tennessee GOP got caught playing to people's faces. Didn't realize the entire country was watching.
Eyes peeped.
Come on, bruv.
Do you happen to remember at all when flip-flopping became a word in politics, where it was like, that's a thing you can't do. You better not flip-flop around here.
No flip-flopping. I kind of remember that.
I'm gonna have to during the break, remind myself of when that happened in my life, that it was such a big deal. But I mean, that's the definition of what happened over there, right? We were like so incensed, and then, I guess everybody's not as incensed as us. So we'll expel and reinstate all in a 7-day span. So
and they were like, whoa, a little hasty on our part.
Yeah. I bet they didn't say that, but
crumb bums.
Yeah. Malcolm, one of our very first fiancés.
It's true.
We hold near and dear to our heart.
Malcolm did not submit a prenup.
Nope.
Malcolm's about it.
Yeah. No, it's a union. Well, I was going to say like based in pure love, or something like that, but that's
based
not
in pure news.
Yeah. There you go.
Huh? There it is.
It's all about solidarity.
Yeah.
And speaking of, Malcolm hits us, says, sorry I'm late. Too busy owning the libs by paying to park downtown. You own those libs. You don't get that ticket. In all seriousness, you both and the fiancés are the highlight of my Thursdays. This show demonstrates the importance of community and local news in the face of everything happening in our city and nationally. I'm so grateful to have y'all in my life. Malcolm? Malcolm?
Thank you, Malcolm.
I am smiling so big. I am blushing very hard. And
sure.
Big, huge heart hands.
Yep. Heart moj hands.
Yeah. Is that what we say?
No, I just did that. I don't know if that's popular or common or anything.
Okay. Well, either way, Malcolm, so appreciate all of those kind words. And the feeling is mutual. You guys make our Thursday. Every single one of you fiancés. Uh-oh, what happened?
Whoa, one of the fiancés said, oh no, you just gave me a beautiful vision of an outdoor live listening party in summer. Which is the real season, I trust.
Indeed. It is kind of the only one you can trust right now. Okay. I think maybe we're going to have to do that. You want to come on board, fiance, and help us plan that?
I'm down.
Because you're the one with all the big ideas.
Apparently.
And so we'll take any help we can get.
Don't tease me with a good time.
Ambush loves to do any sort of outdoor event.
Yeah.
He's got the sound system for it. Yeah. He is ready to put him in the game, coach.
Yeah.
I love to attend an outdoor event. Yeah. Huh?
Somewhere where they have
winning.
A mister. You're good
you
to
do
go.
need, depending on the time.
Yeah.
In the summer. Yeah. We might need a mister, a huge fan. Because I don't know. I keep saying this every summer that I don't recognize Portland. I do, though, now. It's just hot. It's hot now. It gets hot way sooner and it stays hot way later.
We just got another donation here.
No.
Refresh that page there. You're going to be very excited to see what just came through. From old Sparky Z.
Well.
Well.
Sparky Z says, thank you for making me feel less crazy. The work you put into this show really reaches me in a way that nothing else in this world does.
Man.
What is it?
Okay.
It's X-Ray's Fun Drive and our Ego Drive?
Yeah.
But I'm not, what's a better way to say that?
Oh, I can give you a better way to say it.
Okay.
News of my fiance, Ego Drive. Huh? It's been said better. I know you were maybe looking for a different phrasing.
That's the one.
But yeah, that's a better way to say it.
Yo,
Ego
thank
Drive,
you so
Ego Drive,
much. This is, maybe we don't even talk about news today. I don't know. You guys stop telling us how great we are. Never stop. Keep going.
Just you driving the drive. They heard you. They heard you, my love. They heard you say we want to hit a rack today.
They did.
And they're like, ooh, what?
Totally doable.
Hold my beer before 8 a.m. That's what they said.
Totally doable.
Everyone donating, and remember, you have now been auto-entered into the Tom Hanks ticket giveaway.
And the Nehalem getaway giveaway.
Bruh. Go time, showtime.
Money, please. You're doing it.
That's the drop we needed.
I know. If I didn't lose yesterday, today would have been a whole different day.
Yeah.
Big plans.
Yeah. Shout out to our fiancés that have been riding with us for so long, just like Malcolm. Crystal.
Yes.
Huh? Michelle.
Hanging with us.
Roots.
Roots is out there working, I'm sure. Hopefully listen to this at some point.
Yeah.
Can I take a second right before we jump into the news?
It's your second.
Just to say a humongous birthday shout out to someone in our village.
Yes.
Someone who means so much to our entire family and a very specific bond between our child who wants to go camping. Who I blame this person. Happy birthday to John.
Yeah. Uncle John, who gives the outdoors, gives it a refresh. I like how you search for the most pleasant way you could put that.
Yes. He does all the things.
Yeah.
And now Kaylin is in love with all those things. And I think that's great. And she should do all of them with John. Happy birthday, John. We love you.
Happy birthday, John. Okay.
Do you want to do some news?
I think we should do some news, man. Do some news.
National? Local? What do we...
Let's knock out a local. Let's knock out a local real quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shall I?
Go ahead, start. I'll come in with what's what I'm looking for. Jada and Styles it, if you will.
You know what?
It's quite lengthy.
It's the locks, baby.
Yeah.
Governor Kotek expresses disappointment in Portland's plan to tackle houselessness.
Get it together.
Oregon Governor Tina Kotek expressed disappointment in the city of Portland and Multnomah County officials for their lack of clarity on how they would use state emergency funding to address the homeless crisis. Despite being the state's most populous county and biggest city, officials were unable to provide concrete details on their plans to tackle the issue with state money. The governor criticized the officials for not being able to answer basic questions, such as who will pay for what, where the money will come from, and what the city and county are committed to. I'll be honest, I was disappointed. Direct quote. Governor Kotek. Despite signing a $200 million funding package last month to address the homeless crisis in Oregon, Governor Kotek has criticized the city of Portland and Multnomah County officials for not providing enough clarity on how they would use the state funds. The funding is intended to rehouse 1,200 households and create over 600 new shelter beds by the end of the year, and will be distributed to local communities at the end of this month. To oversee the funding, multi-agency coordinating groups have been established to each region composed of individuals from various organizations involved in addressing homelessness. However, Governor Kotek has stated that she still has many questions after meeting with the officials from the city of Portland and Multnomah County. Quote, who's paying for what? Where does the money come from? What's the city committed to? What's the county committed to? They need to get their stuff together, Kotek said. Governor Kotek has tentatively approved the state funding for the city of Portland and Multnomah County, despite her concerns about the lack of clarity on how the funds will be spent. She has promised state help to address the lingering questions.
However, the governor denied funding for Clackamas County. She was not convinced that they could expand shelter capacity, taking a cautious approach to ensure that state funding is used effectively to address the houselessness crisis. In the issue of Clackamas County, we did not allocate any resources for additional shelter capacity because we did not have confidence in their ability to increase shelter beds, the governor said. Lane County provided clear, detailed plans, Kotek said, on how they would use the state funds. They just hit all the marks right. The governor said of Lane County, strong partnerships, clarity on what was getting funded, clarity on the capacity they needed, who was going to do it, and where was it going to be located. I just have to say they have a good handle on their existing infrastructure and where they need to go. It's good to know the Portland City officials in Multnomah County will have the opportunity to provide more details about their plans to receive the state funding allocated for addressing homelessness. The fact that the state is willing to work with them and to flesh out their plans is a positive step towards finding solutions to the houselessness crisis in Oregon. Hopefully, with the help of newly established MAC groups, the state can effectively distribute the emergency funding and make a meaningful impact on the issue. Another quote, for example, in their plan, it talks about money to purchase 100 pallet shelters, Kotek said of Multnomah County. That's part of the plan. We need to know where. We need to know what the operating dollars to go along with that are. So I've been very clear they need to sit down and give us a few more details before we can release the money. Mayor Wheeler said he's working with county officials on revising their state plan. Both the city and county are each responsible for different parts of an overall solution, and we must show a clear strategy on how to best deliver those services with the allotted state emergency funding, Wheeler said in a statement. We have a list of the current plan for the money.
So Multnomah County, $18.2 million to rehouse 275 households and create 138 shelter beds. In Lane County, $15.5 million to rehouse 247 households and create 230 shelter beds. Central Oregon, $13.9 million to rehouse 161 households and create 111 shelter beds. Marion and Polk counties, $10.4 million to rehouse 158 households and create 79 shelter beds. Jackson County, $8.8 million. Washington County, $8 million. Clackamas County, $4.4 million.
Mm-hmm.
The state did not have enough money to fulfill all the requests for rehousing efforts and shelter assistance it needed, meaning not all the regions received the full amount that they requested. Quote, I want to thank everyone who has stepped up to help move this forward, including staff at the state and local level, who have been working diligently to make sure we have solid plans to quickly distribute these emergency funds, Kotek said in a statement. This alone won't solve this crisis, but it is a significant down payment on our efforts. It will build the new, outcomes-oriented infrastructure we need to address homelessness heading into next year.
Come prepared or not.
I have never been more happy to hear that what we won't do is just hand that money over and call it a day. Because that is what has continued to happen. Millions and millions and millions of dollars of funding going into the hands of someone being like, I mean, we gonna do stuff, I guess.
Talking about, we got it. Yeah. I need a business plan.
It's our problem to solve. Yeah. I know. I mean, that's a great step. I wish that, we were, as a citizenry, a little more on the same page so that folks would understand withholding that funding because there is no plan, because there is no readiness to actually act. There's nothing, you know what I mean?
Right.
That funding should not be given. And if we were, a little more in lockstep with each other in the way of, what needs to happen in your job, would you be able to be like, you couldn't get reimbursed without showing that you did something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you don't get to move forward with an initiative without having a plan. And somehow Tevis be like, look, run the money.
We'll talk about it later.
We're going to talk about it later.
On.
Hey,
You know me. I'm good for it.
City. You know we need the most. But what are you going to do with that money? Right? We're going to get to that.
The money, things. I'm going to do some good things.
I'm going to do good things, great things.
Yeah.
Big, great things.
Yeah. No.
This is what needs to happen.
Yeah. And it doesn't need to, like, I'm glad so far we haven't seen any pushback, like any friction, like, here's the
Oh,
state.
no, it's happening.
Oh,
it's happening. And that's, listen, the kind of ridiculousness, I understand. I am heavily online when I am seeing these kind of responses.
Right.
And I don't hear people saying wild stuff about Tina Kotek in real life. But online, they go hard in the paint.
Still.
And, well, yeah, because, when you chose your fighter and your fighter loses, you don't know what to do with yourself. So you got to still be mad at the one that won, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is a smart decision, in my estimation, all the way around, because this is the way that funding needs to be, funding this big and for problems so large. Like, if you're not going to be serious about what to do with this money, if you are not going to seriously help people, if you don't even have a plan to help people, what in the world are you doing coming up to me telling me how much money you need?
Yeah, especially
because how do you know? How do you know how much money you need if you don't have a plan? And if your idea is just throw people into this fenced area, then pay millions and millions and millions of dollars to a third party to police them, rather than to make it, take that money and make a difference.
Yeah.
Invest into people's futures, not their failures. If we were about doing that.
Bars.
But you're not. I'd like to see it. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see somebody with a plan that actually means it and has, I don't know what the word is, gumption to actually then do it once you're in office. But Tevis was never. That was never his plan. He was never going to make it better.
Gotta find someone else to blame for these issues, man. I am curious though, like, what do you guys think about the fact that someone who claims to have the solutions, we're just ready. It was just not so long ago, at a town hall. He put it on the state. He definitely did. This is the state. The state's got to step up. Now, here we are. The state's saying, "Hey, we got this bread. What are you gonna do? Show us?"
Oh man, you wanted a plan? Nah, see, we're really used to just getting it and then tricking it off to our friends.
Yeah.
And we're also really good at contracts. We love a contract. We love to hire someone else to do a thing that we refuse to do. And we love to pay them the money that we could have just created some housing.
Bruh.
They don't even take the contracts to give their, builder friends the right. You could be doing this and still, I guess you could still be corrupt.
Sure.
And we could still get some good outcomes.
At least locally corrupt.
Gosh.
You're importing.
I don't want that. But if you're going to do it, at least create some housing.
Right. Right.
Instead of just another line item for another company. That is what we continue to do, is just pay other companies to do work that we don't even actually need. Knowing it's a waste of money. They all know that. That's the other thing I wish that we all collectively understood, is that truly, when we say poverty is a policy choice, that's not hyperbole. Like, it is
Right.
actually on purpose. It is more lucrative to certain people for others to be completely destitute, and to be in a, economic system in that way and be so tied to it. Like, we are just clinging
Right.
on to capitalism. Like, please, capitalism daddy, please let it be my turn. Let it be my turn to put my foot on a neck.
Right.
Like, if that's really where you at, we got to reevaluate.
I mean, the entire idea of privately owned corporations applying some type of profit model to people being destitute. And
That on its own.
And then every year, hey, man, we got to get these numbers up. What does it mean to get those numbers up? More people are destitute. More people are in need. More people are going underserved.
On purpose.
On purpose.
Because it makes someone else money.
That, like, incensed one should be.
I mean, that should radicalize you.
It should. It absolutely should.
No question.
Part of our conversation earlier about Tina Kotek chilling on those funds, John said, "Thank you, Morgan. This is exactly the conversation I was waiting for this morning."
Aha.
Man.
I love to deliver.
Deliver the goods.
Yeah.
Yeah. And thank you guys for delivering the goods. The goods being your listening ears.
And your texting fingers.
Boom. And your donations.
And your critically thinking minds.
Hey.
You know?
We definitely have a crew of critical thinkers here.
It's true. But like the actual critical thinking, not the...
Critical race theorying?
Ah!
Is that where you were going?
That's not where I was going.
Okay.
But it's just, you know how like people are starting to understand that every, conservative accusation is just a projection,
Mm-hmm.
Seeing it online, seeing it in real life, hearing people say things, and then you're like, wait, but you're doing the thing that you're saying.
You're so doing the
are
thing.
doing it. So when, someone who is in bad faith running into the comments and is like, oh, think critically. It's like, LOL.
Is that what you really want me to do?
Is that what you're doing?
Because, yeah, you're obviously not a fan of that. You know what's
Anywho's.
important to critical thinking?
What is it?
Having access to libraries and information.
Oh.
Huh?
I think it does help.
Yeah.
It also helps build vocabulary
It does.
when you're reading.
Yes.
You don't say, very, very, very as much if you are able to read really, really good.
Yeah.
You read books, you get new words.
Yes.
And then you learn context too. You learn
Which is
what
important.
a context clue is. That's what I, Mine came from trying to ask my mom, like, what's this word mean? And she'd be like, you don't know what that word means? Weirdo, go read a book. Just kidding. She wasn't that bad.
I was going to say, okay. All right. I like the motivation to read a book, though. Yeah. Well.
Might be scarred.
House Republicans in Missouri vote to defund the libraries.
Get them out of here.
The Missouri House Republicans have proposed a state budget of $45.6 billion that includes defunding all public libraries in the state, along with diversity initiatives, child care, and pre-kindergarten programs.
Okay, I feel like we should have led with child care.
Ooh, they care about the children so much.
Yeah.
The proposed budget is about $12 billion less than the one Governor $2 billion less than the one Governor Mike Parson has suggested last January. The move to cut library aid comes after a lawsuit was filed against the state in February seeking to declare Senate Bill 775 unconstitutional, which resulted in over 300 books being banned from school libraries. Many of these books include LGBTQ characters or racial justice themes.
Never heard of it.
Didn't see that coming at all. Trending. Republicans argue that the state should not subsidize the lawsuit with government aid, but the Missouri Library Association, a nonprofit representing Missouri's librarians, has stated that it is not providing any funding for the lawsuit as the ACLU is aiding them pro bono.
Okay.
The Missouri Library Association has also argued that library funding is guaranteed in the state's constitution, and the move to cut aid would harm public libraries, particularly smaller rural ones. Democrats have also opposed the move to defund public libraries, arguing that it is inappropriate to punish libraries because Republicans are unhappy with them for suing to question censorship. The budget bill is yet to move to a Senate vote or to the governor's desk, as it still needs its third House reading, which has not been scheduled yet. I mean, I do applaud the nerve here.
The audacity is strong.
Somebody definitely, when the meeting was like, this book banning, we need to pick up steam. You know what? Let's just get rid of libraries. Let's just get
What's
these
the
libraries
quick way to do
out
this?
of here. Where do the books live? Stick with me for a second here. Stick with me. If we defund the libraries, then they can't read. Huh? We'll make them cut back on hours.
Sorry, I didn't mean that.
Yeah.
This just very much feels like a Veep episode. And like,
oh my God, I heard Jonah.
Somebody at the library made somebody else mad. It's not even like the books that are in there are bad. It's just like that Mary. I don't like that she warms up fish in the microwave.
Oh my God.
And then it's just going to be
real.
like,
this is so
how do we get
real.
rid of Mary? Well, we can't fire her. How about we just defund libraries altogether? Sounds like a plan. It's just like not real.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't understand how we can get in this, even have this kind of conversation. What do you mean defund a library?
How do you sound?
What do you mean? But more than anything, I do, as ridiculous as it is, and as much as I do not mean to sound like an alarmist in any way, but like real life, the stuff that they're trying to take away are things that really matter to our society. And they are things that we not only need, but they give access to information. And that's the part that we should be scared about. Just like with the, ban TikTok situation, which isn't about banning TikTok at all. It's about access to information and data and access to ability to hop right into your household. And when we talk about it in a way that isn't that, then, it gets confusing and people are like, oh, well, yeah, that TikTok, that's bad China or something. I don't know. Books, should we be pushing agendas on kids? Like, if you don't really understand the root of a thing, then you're going to get stuck on those talking points and those arguments that aren't real either. This is terrifying when people, when the state tries to take information and access to information away from you. This is not the kind of thing to just be like, oh, wow, no libraries, huh?
Man.
That is terrifying. And I love how they just throw in there that in this bill, we will also be, decreasing childcare and
right.
What?
And
pre-K programs. So how do we do any of the life that they are purporting that we should do?
That caring for life?
Well, not even that, because that's been a hypocrisy. That is forever and always, yes, you must have those children. No, we will not help you if you do. Like, that's always been the case. But when we're talking about caring for and making sure and investing in our children, but you are like, but not them, or, but not these kids, or not pre-K, not, how do both parents go to work with there's no childcare?
Right.
How does any of the stuff that they keep, so, okay, you force a parent to stay home with children because they can't afford childcare. Cool. You won't raise the wages though. So actually, whoever is making that money does not make enough to support the family. Like there's just, we can't do we can't have it all ways, I guess is what I'm going for.
No.
So you're going to ban libraries, and then you're going to take away childcare, and you're going to make it impossible for people to work and have small children. But you also want to force people to continue to have children.
Yep. Got to feed that capitalistic engine, all your human beings, to keep it moving, keep it fueled. I see a lot of memes and tweets and comparisons to the dystopian future. You know what this sounds like. You guys burning these books. Sounds like dystopian future in some of our past as a human race. The way populations have the way governments have tried to control their population by limiting their access to information.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's important that we remember that the people that we're trying to throw these examples in front of, they know. They know what they're doing. They don't care. They don't care.
Yep.
We got to make sure we're talking to each other. Do you care? Do you care? Let's make sure we're having these conversations with people that we aren't just assuming get it. Because the people that we're throwing that to, they get it. They're like, ooh, thanks. I'm glad you're comparing me to that particular regime, because that is exactly what we're going for.
That's what I'm going for over here.
Thank you very much. Thanks for joining the conversation. No. There are a lot of people out here that you would say, hey, this is something that aligns with my morals. I am mission aligned with this person, and we understand some of the same things, a lot of the same things. I feel like I can have a beer with that person. Let's make sure we're having these conversations with each other, to bring everybody to the same level of awareness about what's actually happening. Because before we know it, I mean, could you imagine libraries here today, gone tomorrow? I mean, it's just wild.
Well, I do a little too much watching The Handmaid's Tale, so I can imagine it.
That comparison happens a lot.
It does, and yeah. I know that can make people, be like, "Oh, yeah, right." But honestly, kind of, not as far off. Doesn't feel so out of reach.
Yeah,
when you're watching what are supposed to be like these, not just rules, but like hard and fast, like this is how the country works. Like,
right.
Like this is how these things happen. Watching those just erode, and not in a way for progress, but in a way for more oppression. Yeah, it gets scary.
Right.
And when you are a person who does understand what some of the root causes for these, wide sweeping bills and conversations to get people to, put their ideas in or put their thoughts in the marketplace of ideas.
I was waiting. It's my favorite phrase.
And have an exchange,
Just having a conversation. Just thinking out loud.
When the stuff just goes away, you understand what the end game is.
Oh yeah.
And the end game is more oppression. It isn't like, hear me when I say it is not for the uplifting or betterment or anything of other people. We have been living in this version of America, meaning the air that we breathe is capitalism, patriarchy, and white supremacy.
Right.
That's the air we breathe. You do not implement those systems, and you do not uphold them for the betterment of everyone. It is for the few.
Right.
And it's totally fine that everybody else, perishes. Because at the end, whatever the oppressive movement we're going for here, whether it's just, maybe it's not Handmaid's Tale, maybe it's not going to be, we want to repopulate and the wives can't, or whatever
Yeah.
Whatever the situation is. If you are listening to this, you are likely not going to be the one with a foot on a neck. You are going to be one getting oppressed. And that is something that nobody wants to just like recognize and then do something about. Like, we can acknowledge it, but then it's like, man, I wonder what to do about it. These kind of folks can't be the ones who make decisions anymore.
No.
And getting on the same page of understanding, you know, who's doing what and why.
There it is.
What's the motivation?
Who is this for?
Who is it for?
Right.
That's the part that, you know, the onus is on us in that way.
I mean, think about it. We're always trying to magnify the point. This is a minority that is trying to control the majority.
Hello.
Right? So, like, in Canby, we have 2 parents that have submitted a list of, I believe, 30-something books that they want removed from the school library, from the school district libraries, and from the libraries within the school district. And think about that. 2 parents want to dictate what all of the children in that district get to read. Where in any other facet of your life would you be comfortable ignoring that? You step into the grocery store and someone's like, no, you only get to buy rice from this brand. Only General Mills products for your breakfast, and that's going to be that. Because I have decided, like, where else could you be this casual with it and be like,
I guess that is what it is.
And you know, the other thing I want people to try to remember here, that libraries, maybe you haven't spent time in a library because you got your phone, you got access to things at home and things of that nature. But everyone doesn't have access to the exact same devices and technological resources that you do. You know who benefits from libraries? People that have been displaced. People that maybe used to have a home and don't. People that maybe used to have a laptop and can't afford another one now.
Hello.
These are students after school. You know, there are people that go to libraries to fill out job applications and need that help of a librarian or someone else on staff to help guide them through the process. It's so much more than just a building that has a bunch of books in it. And for a lot of us, I think that may be the connection where it's like, you know, hey, do I really need a library? Is it really about what you need or what benefits the entire community?
Right. Talk to him, Ambush.
I'm just glad I was able to remember my points. COVID brain.
Yeah, it's real. We did get a couple of texts I just want to say real quick. One, literary reference, Fahrenheit 451. Talk
there
about
it is. There it is.
And another one. Oh, now I can't. I don't know how to open things anymore. Mother was a librarian for over a decade in rural Ohio. Libraries not only provide access to info in the form of books, but also often have free access to the internet. Talk to them. Access to printers and host tons of events and workshops for both children and adults. One of the few public spaces that provide a non-monetized service for any and everyone. Kenny?
This is what we're talking about.
This is what I'm talking about. I do want to make that point about the printers. I mean, I want to go back to the point about the printers.
No, that's serious business.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Because if you are old enough to remember when printers all of a sudden became accessible in a home and it was like, oh, everybody's got a printer now. Yeah. And then they were like, well, ink will be $1 million.
Man, they got us so good.
They got us so good. Here's the machinery for nothing.
Here's your $80 printer.
Yeah. But that ink though,
$60.
That's gonna run you your paycheck, fam. It made it like, whoa, okay, so I can't actually afford to have this thing. I can't actually do this thing. That's not what is gonna happen. You know, if you are a person who does not have access to a printer, you don't realize how much you need it until you need it.
Oh yeah.
And once you need it, it's like, it's never just like, I just need a sheet of paper printed out. You know, it's like, if you need something printed, it's copies of 3 different things. Plus you need to print out this thing. And then there's instructions. And then there's it like, so, you know, that's hugely important. And that is a public good. That is something that should always be available because there's always going to be people who don't have access to that.
Yep. Text lines are lighting up.
Oh.
I grew up in Orange County and wasted a lot of time watching TV. I now realize how important books are God bless Stephen King.
Yo.
We need to protect books.
Yes.
We got another one. Let's see. Talk to him, Am. Talk to him. By the way, I used the library just the other day because I don't have a printer.
See? Jen?
Jen.
You out here. You know,
it's John.
Is it John?
Yeah, John. I think the speech is texted out of me.
Look how it's working out.
Someone else said, did any of the homeless plans say how they can move people into permanent housing, giving the wage rent gap?
LOL.
Oh, boy.
That's too hard hitting of a question there. I don't know if you really.
I'm going to say no.
That's, another great thing to hammer home.
Yeah.
If the folks are not talking about that in a realistic way and they are absolutely refusing to acknowledge that gap in wages and cost of living.
Bruh. What are we talking
They're
about?
unserious about solving any problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
They do not care if you can afford to live or not. And they do not care if people get permanent housing. I mean, we're still working on that.
Yeah.
We're still working on that word not being a 4-letter word. You know what I mean? Like, it's permanent is the boogeyman to anybody who is holding on to the bag.
Yeah.
Well, not anyone, but historically, if you are talking about permanent solutions, the ears close. They have no idea what you could possibly
mean. What do you mean? What?
By any of that. Please let me refer you to your bootstraps, sir.
Yeah, that's the permanent solution.
And what you should do is pull yourself up by it.
Shout out to Sarah H. Just became a member.
Y'all are running it up.
Yeah, they are.
I cannot thank you enough. I see the time now.
I do.
So just a quick reminder that tomorrow is the end of X-Ray's Spring Fun Drive.
It's very true.
Which means now's the time.
Yeah.
Act now, as they say.
And for anyone that may have just tuned in, up until noon, you have the opportunity. You got the chance there. If you donate, become a member, get in on this fun driving.
If you drive them funds, you are auto-entered.
Yes. For a pair of tickets to see Tom Hanks.
Yes.
In conversation.
That Tom Hanks.
Literary arts. The Tom Hanks.
Chet Hanks' daddy.
Oh, man.
Okay.
You mentioned him twice in the show.
Okay, well, I can't remember the other son's name who is an actor. I can't. Rita Wilson's husband.
Yes.
That Tom Hanks.
Going to be at the Schnitz Thursday, May 18th. I feel like I need to clear my sketch to hang out at the back door and get an autograph. How many times have people asked him to sign soccer balls? I don't know.
Oh, like all the time.
Yeah.
I'm certain of it.
For sure.
But you're auto-entered to win that. You are also auto-entered to win a Nehalem getaway.
Yes.
That includes a din-din.
Yeah.
This isn't just a room. You're also getting dinner.
That's right.
How much do we love that? And you get to go to North Coast Pinball.
Boom.
I mean.
We got gift certificates. Huh?
And when you sign up to become a member.
Boom.
You get all these choices of merch. And if you give to our peer-to-peer and we become the champions of the world, I might get some socks, y'all, and I want them.
Of the world.
I want them bad.
Champions of the world.
Yeah.
That's what we should call.
I also want the shirt.
That's what we should call our peer-to-peer for the fall fun drive. Champions of the world.
Catherine, I hope you're listening. Nina.
This is my fiance. Champions of the world.
I hope you saw all that money pouring in today. Huh? Do you hear me?
Terrible.
I just want you to remember that's us.
These are the moments we need the camera in the studio. That face.
That's us right there, baby.
You're listening to X-Ray FM at KXRY Portland at 107.1 and 91.1 FM, and in Nehalem, Manzanita, Wheeler, and Rockaway Beach at 91.7 FM, streaming online everywhere, xray.fm. FM. And this is News with My Fiance.
Real quick, you know what John said?
What John say?
We are the champions of the X-ray world.
Oh.
Ba, 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 ba.
Today's show was made possible thanks to Morgan Jones and DJ Ambush, our podcast editor, Kyle G.
Ba, 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 ba.
Shout out to all the texts that came through. Shout out to all the donations this morning.
Every single fiance.
Real talk. Real talk. We really appreciate how engaged you are every Thursday. Like, really, really appreciate it.
Literally means the world.
Yeah, absolutely. And we be talking about y'all after air.
We do.
It's like, ooh, remember when such and such said? We do it. We do
It's
it.
true.
Yes. So
Make
remember,
it feel good.
don't let the individuals distract you from the systems. Poverty is a policy choice. People over profits. Power to the people. And none of us are free until we are all free. Thanks for listening and stay tuned for Tom Hartman.
Give X-ray money. Bye.